All right. Hey, Amber, you were talking about the differences between the goals and objectives. And so that was actually part of the conversation I had because I was kind of getting the lanes crossed up a little bit. And the way he explained those to me was that the goals would be kind of determined by the group, so to speak. So like in I guess in our case, if we do, the identity development, um, a goal would be that they would improve like a self-awareness score, or we would pick an assessment tool that we could measure something quantitatively, maybe at the beginning, middle, and end, and then also do something kind of qualitative, right? Where we say, did you learn, you know, some tools for identity development? Have you had some insight into your identity development? But that would be more towards the goal side. And then for objectives, it would be like as a as the group leaders, we would say we want to offer, two or three tools that our group members could use outside of the group, or um, maybe an objective would be a certain part of our content that we want to include. But anyway, it would be more of like a process um, side compared to like the goals there. I don't know if that makes sense at all. I was just trying to do that from memory, but it kind of made sense for me to figure out the difference between the two. So,
Yeah, I think like when I was like looking it up and I was it this last course or maybe the one before that, like my ethics course, we kind of talked about like SMART goals. So I was just like, if maybe that would be a tool we could use because it has to be like specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Um, but when I pulled it up and then I kind of like looked up the difference between objective and the goal, because the goal is typically something that's going to be like long term. So, like you said, a consensus of what the group kind of wants the goal of, yeah, like the identity group to be. Um, so yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to use the SMART goal acronym, but maybe to help
yeah.
us set the objectives for the group instead. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I was also a little bit confused, like, the difference. So what I put for the goal, I said um to promote self-awareness and identity formation in the supportive counseling environment. And for the objectives, I put increase self-awareness and identity clarity, identifying barriers to identity development, reducing stress and anxiety related to role overload, and encouraging healthy balance between academic, personal, and professional roles. But again, I was kind of like, still a little bit confused between both of them. So
I like those.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sound pretty good. But my
Yeah.
question is, so are we doing like an objective, like just for the whole like group counseling, or it's more like an objective per like session? You know what I mean? Like, are we having like one objective and then just like working towards like that specific goal? Or is it like one objective every time we have like a group leader and then a goal within the session? Like, are we doing like short term or long term?
I
mm,
took it as like we were doing it for like the
yeah.
entirety.
Oh,
Um, but see that's another thing. Like yeah, I don't, yeah, because when you see the other person's perspective, I'm also like, okay, should we have a goal and objective for session one that we want to review in session two? So
mm.
I
Yeah.
I
that
mean,
is,
I feel like I would like say that we can like have one like main objective and then like work towards a goal and then have like each session like working towards that goal. So it's like easier on us. So it would be like more like a progress, like, you know, like a process
Mhm.
instead of just like kind of like half done work, because we won't have enough time in like an hour to go through like all the steps to achieve that goal. But if whatever y'all want, also like, you know, if you want to like have multiple objectives, that's fine too.
I was it's difficult because these are so it's not bad. It's just a challenge because they're spaced out based on our assignments. Right? Like it would be different if we were counselors and we were starting a group and we kind of knew our content that we were going to use in the group. But Kaylee, to your point, and then Maria, some of the goals that you mentioned, I think we can do. This is just an idea, but like we can set those goals that Maria stated, right? And then if we wanted to, we could come up with a goal at like if our program's going to last, let's just say hypothetically a semester, right? It's going to be for grad students. It's going to be, let's say, 16 weeks long. And so maybe a goal would be, Maria, we could pick one of yours and just say by the halfway point on week 8, we want to see like again, I don't even really know what assessment tool we're going to use yet, but even if it was our own questionnaire that we made, right, and put like a value to it, we wanted to see like a 10, 20, 30% increase by the halfway point. And then by the time we were done, we wanted to see another 20% increase. That'd be one way to do it. And then, Kaylee, for the objectives, I don't, I'll be honest, I don't know if, I don't know, I don't think they're going to be like per session. I think it would be set up like our objective is to, I'm trying to think of a hypothetical example, but um, I don't know of a identity development source, right? So I'm having trouble articulating my concept. But basically if we wanted to utilize this source, right? And so one objective would be, hey, we're going to use let's do scripture. That'll be easy, right? So if we wanted to use scripture as part of our content in our group, then we could list that as one of our objectives, right? If that's just kind of the way I understand the definition of objective, but um I could be way off. So
And some that are kind of pulling up in this article, it says like cultivating self-discovery to explore core values, beliefs, passions, and life goals. Developing coping skills. So maybe like us speaking on like and maybe that kind of help us throughout our sessions as well. Like, okay, in this session, we want to kind of create healthy coping mechanisms to be able to change these patterns or whatever that looks like. Reduce emotional distress. So to manage symptoms of anxiety, depression, and confusion, often associated with identity, life, or career transitions. So maybe we can talk about the environments that they feel the identity crisis kind of coming in at. So maybe if we pick like 3 good objectives that our group would focus on, it would kind of like lead us through our sessions of what we have to talk about, I guess.
I love that. Yep. Is there 3 on there that you like?
I'll write them down in the list. So the first one, it was like that cultivate self-discovery, reduce emotional distress, provide a safe space for exploration, foster community and connection, develop coping skills, and reconstruct identity. So out of those 3, what are y'all kind of thinking too?
I I kind of like the first two and then the coping skills are the ones that stood out. I like all of them, honestly, but
I agree.
those
And then maybe in the reduced emotional stress, we can just talk about maybe like stress management, self-discovery. It would kind of look like, yeah, what you're passionate about. Because I think once you kind of figure out what you're passionate about, it kind of helps you, okay, this is for me, this may be my niche, like things like that. Um, and coping skills, that one, I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure to come along. Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
all of those are really nice too.
Hmm.
Also, I when I saw like the assignment, we have like about 8 meetings. So would y'all like to do like only 3 objectives or like do like four so we can split it into like 2 sessions? You know what I mean? Up
Say
to y'all.
say that one more time.
Like it's like we have about 8 meetings like after like the second 8 weeks of the semester are gonna be our actual meetings and it's about 8 meetings. And my question was, would y'all like to do like 4 objectives instead of three? So we have 2 objectives, like two, so we have like 1 objective per 2 sessions?
I'm with
Or
you.
would it be okay, or is three better? Like just a suggestion.
I
So
like the four.
yeah,
I
so we can like pick four and like, just do like 2 sessions each. And honestly, if we are gonna all like alternate between like group leadership, then it's probably gonna be two like each so we can like all focus and like, okay, I picked this objective that I want to focus on and you pick this one and I picked this one so we can like
Yeah.
structure and like and that way like we're organized. Okay, I want to start like this and finish like this, and we all have like our own like little group and then we just come together to reach the goal that we're like talking about.
I like that a lot.
Same, I agree.
Okay, so in this case I feel like we should all just pick like an objective that we all like feel passionate about and feel like interested in, or like feel like we're really gonna like want to dive in like very deep. And so up to us now. I like all the
Yeah.
ones that you say. I feel like you should definitely write them down and we can like generally think about them and like see what we connect with, and just like talk with each other to see like where our head is at. Or we can like decide now if y'all are ready. Up to y'all.
Right. Because I think maybe another one that we could like add to be the fourth one. It says the FOSS. No, maybe either one might be good. It's provide a safe space for exploration and foster community and connection. So, hmm, I like them both because it's like I guess the foster community and connection almost goes in with the whole group counseling thing and how it is. I'm not going to say easier, but it's easier to go through the journey almost with others than going through it by yourself. So maybe the foster community and connections, and it just says like finding community resources. Um, so maybe that could be like a fourth one if we do the cultivate self-discovery, reduce emotional distress, foster community and connection, and then develop coping skills.
Hey, Amber, just
Hmm.
I love that and we can go with that. Just a thought that I had on the other one about the safe space.
Hmm.
Right, we could accomplish that through our informed informed consent process or pre-screening. Um, if we were going to screen people for our group, um, we could include things in that informed consent process that would create a safe space. Um, not necessarily rules, but just understanding that everybody needs a voice, everybody needs to be heard. We're not going to allow, aggressive behavior, or all the all the things that you would present to the group kind of before we get started. So that would just be one that we could use if we decided on that one. So, but I'm not I'm not tied to it. It was just a thought I thought I'd share.
I like that too. Because, like you said,
Yep.
yeah. And we have to do the pre-screening, even when I was reading the text, that seems like a vital part of even like the formation or the early stages that it was saying in the like forming a counseling group. So I think that could be good. I'm texting them right now in like the group me so we can kind of like see. So we want to do the provide a safe space for exploration. Okay. So do
And that first one that you said was cultivate what?
self-discovery.
Okay.
Okay. That one's good too. Wait, are we still doing the community one or instead we're doing the safe one, like the safety one?
We can do both if we want to maybe take another one off. Whatever four we
Oh,
want
okay.
to do.
No. I'm just confused because there's a lot of them, so you just keep
I
going. I'm
know.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right. So I'm gonna send them all and then so we
Yes.
can I guess just kind of see.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was just like, I just got a little lost. I was like, what?
Okay, and I think the last thing, what is it? Speaking of logistics and demographics where we are, I think yeah, logistics is the last thing that we have to go over. So in the text, although it doesn't say logistics, what is it titled? The practical concerns of formation of a group. So to me, like after I kind of like read up on what logistics of a counseling group was, I felt like some of these could kind of follow in it. So if we wanted like an open versus a closed group, the group size, or if we'll like put that, okay, we cap it out at 25 after the screening, the meeting place, the frequency and length of the meetings, short-term versus long-term goals of the meeting. So I felt like some of those um, would kind of like set the logistics of our group. That makes sense.
It it does. So I'm just gonna throw some. I'm kind of basing this off of again that conversation that I just had. So we'll just kind of pick whatever y'all like out of it, but it goes perfectly with Amber what you were just reading. By the way, say what book that came out of, so that'll count as a reference in our video.
This is out of our Corey text. It's
Awesome.
finally working. It's finally working for me. So yes, straight from the text.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, so since we're doing grad students, it may be good to do um like a semester long group. Um, and so if we did, and again, you wouldn't do it the whole 16 weeks because it would probably take about 2 weeks to get it advertised. Um, but we could say it would be a 14-week group schedule that would meet, once a week. Um, he said, and again, this is just for our information to kind of pick and choose. He said an ideal group size, the group that he's doing right now is actually on depression. So I don't know if this number is specific for depression or just general groups, but he threw out the number eight in that with eight people, it allows a closeness within the group, where if somebody's not there, it's kind of impactful, right? But it also is enough where it's not overloaded, where everybody kind of gets an opportunity to be heard and to kind of have their time, so to speak. But again, in my mind, you know, I'm not a group counselor. I haven't been to a group yet, so um, that number sounded really low. But again, I'm just kind of throwing that out there. And then he talked a lot about doing, again, this has to do with depression, but doing that pre-screening, to a lot of the questions I asked about, how do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with challenges? What happens when you do this? A lot of it seemed to be resolved during that pre-screening process. So making sure everybody in his group actually was dealing with depression, right? So if we could have some sort of mechanism where the people in our group would be, they would benefit from identity development, right? So I don't know how to set up anything that would, we could do a questionnaire, something like that. Anyway, these are just random thoughts from a logistics standpoint, but those were just some ideas that I had.
The Corey text coincides with that. It says for ongoing groups with adults, about 8 members with one leader seems to be a good size.
Okay.
So yeah, it says that in the text too.
Yeah, and I feel like with the questionnaire, we should do that to like make sure,
Right. And then because that way we would get applicants or people that were interested in being in our group. We would have a screening process, like you're saying, Maria, and then just kind of out of that group, we would pick our eight and then kind of go from there.
Hmm.
Yeah, honestly, I agree too. Because I feel like self-identity is also like very like a very intimate subject. Like you don't like you want to create intimacy between the people in our group
Yep.
because you're basically like pouring yourself out there, and it might be easy for some, but it might not be easy for everyone. So if we make it like super big, some people are definitely not going to share or get anything
Hmm.
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I know you said we can do like 14 weeks, but do you want to like do it more like towards like the program that we have, or that's more like a hypothetical situation?
Yeah, it was just a hypothetical situation.
Okay.
So if there is a structure, Kaylee, that fits the assignment better, like it
Okay.
sounds like you kind of looked ahead and kind of the stuff we're going to have to do in the future. So if something fits better,
Okay. No, I was just asking just because I
yeah.
don't know like what we're doing. So if it's like a real group, I have to be like, okay, we're gonna do it for 14 weeks, you know? I'm
Yeah.
like, like I don't she doesn't give any instructions. I don't know if we're actually getting people or role playing, so I just had wanted to be mentally
Right.
prepared.
Yeah.
But I like it. I mean, whatever
Yeah.
works for everyone works for everyone. We can obviously talk about it like in the future. I was just like,
Yeah.
getting mentally prepared because I'm not like, want to be like a group leader. So I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna have to like, get it.
Well,
Hmm.
and
Or
I
maybe
think,
we can. Oh, sorry.
oh, I am too. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. What was it? Oh, like maybe we can. What did we say earlier? Since we did 4 objectives, 2 sessions, maybe like 8 weeks. Wait, is that right? Two, four, six. Yeah, maybe like make it 8 weeks so we know that each of those sessions we have an objective, like, and what we'll cover for two. So
Yeah.
do something like that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was like 14 weeks, we have to start now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was nervous too. I was like, no, guys, I'm not ready yet. I
Yeah.
thought we had more time.
Uh, no, I like that. So for this assignment, I really don't know yet if this is just a hypothetical group with hypothetical logistics or how much we're really going to have to get real with it. So
So y'all know how last time I said like an hour long, whatever.
yeah,
So I had looked into it, like the first like group, well, not like our proposal, but like our actual like meeting. That one's supposed to be an hour, and then after we do that, we have to do like a journal, like write down like how it was, being the counselor and stuff like that. That's gonna be for like the last 8 weeks, I believe. So we'll do like a session, and then we're gonna like reflect. Yeah, but
we,
I don't know if we're actually gonna do like a group or if we're just gonna role play. So
I was gonna
I
say,
saw that too, and I
yeah.
was confused because it said something about role playing. So I don't know if like we're role playing like the four of us, or if like we're actually like bringing in people. But
Right.
girl, I had the same question.
Okay.
Right.
I'll kind of read more into it tomorrow
Yeah,
and like see
Okay.
like if I understand it better, see where we're at. So that way, like, we could like if we're actually doing a group, we could actually like mentally prepare,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
see where we're at.
One more quick thing that we talked about. So, and we could do it because Kaylee, you said something a while ago, and I kind of feel the same way about, it's new, right? So really insecure, not sure if I'm gonna be a good leader or not, but they have like a co-facilitator in their group where you have a leader, but you also have somebody there with you that is a co-facilitator. And so he said that's really important because sometimes you could miss something if you're kind of engaged, and because he was talking about the importance of picking up all the nonverbal cues within the group, right? Like you really have to kind of
yeah,
pay attention to everybody in the group. And anyway, but it would be comforting, I know for me, if
yes.
if we did that as a group, but I don't know if it's going to be part of
I
our
saw
typical.
that.
Yeah.
It is going to be part of this.
Oh, cool.
Because when I read the prompt, like for like the meetings, it did say you're gonna have like an actual group leader and like a co-leader,
Okay.
and we kind of have like are able to role play with that. So, yeah, we're going 100% going to have like some support. So it's gonna have to be more like a partnership, like probably like 70-30
Yeah.
work. Yeah, so I think we'll be fine, and I agree. Thank you for bringing that up. And from what I saw and what I remember, I did see something like that. So we will
Okay.
have like that, that partnership.